Hey guys, my name is Brandon and welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you like what you see in here, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button so you stay notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, let's get straight on with today's video. Hey everyone and welcome back to Is That More Brandon. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a review to the 10th episode of Celebrity Big Brother. This episode came out on Thursday and it's just before Friday's eviction. So again, I don't know who's going to be nominated and I don't know who's going to be evicted. But I think in this episode we're going to find out who has been nominated. So let's get straight on with the episode. At the beginning of the show, Ekin said she was sad to see Lauren and Sharon not being in the house anymore. And David was having a nice innocent shower in the bathroom. And I think Nikita was throwing some sort of toilet paper or some sort of little towels or whatever. And David kept saying, "Coulson, stop it." And Coulson was like, "Well, it's not even me." So, you know, they're having a little prank there. Levi basically explained that he felt like Coulson was taking what he said a little bit out of context, a little bit over the top, a little bit too sensitive. And Coulson basically said that everyone usually tells him he's mature for his age. He's been on TV since he was 11 years old. And, you know, if he's boring, then he likes being boring. And that's just the way that he is. So if he is a little bit different to other people, that's just who he is. And he's not going to obviously change that. Ekin was having a chat with Louis, Levi and Marisha. She was making Louis a tea and he basically said that he wants to stay in the top position of being the laziest housemate, so he just kind of sat there and let everyone do everything else for him. David was outside in the garden with Coulson, Fern and Bradley talking about their favourite housemates, or, you know, their dream housemate, and I think they basically just said as wacky and as wild as you wanted to. And then David basically said Anne Boleyn, because it could be quite interesting to have her talk about the real Henry VIII. And Coulson said that he could have actually have played Henry VIII in this kind of new Victorian film or whatever has come out. And that he actually did play Henry VIII, or at least a king, when he was a really, really young boy. Ekin came to the diary room and said that there's always a change in tone with the nominations. Sometimes people are feeling up here, sometimes they're feeling a little bit lower down. And she said that Fern is really, really nice. And sometimes she'll say things that are a little bit different or a little bit unique, and then that's her personality coming out. So yeah, it's just that sometimes people can be a bit flip-floppy depending on whether they are or are not nominated. Nikita and Bradley were doing a little choreographed dance to Chance on Me, Take a Chance on Me. And Fern basically had explained to Louis that she has been working hard since she was 20 years old, with Louis saying that she's young-ish, and that she could eventually fall in love with someone. And Fern basically said, well, you could have just stopped at young, you didn't need to say ish. And she said she's not really looking to fall in love, she's not really looking to find love at the moment. Big Brother called all of the housemates to the lounge and we found out that there was a rule break. So it looked like Louis hadn't done it, because he basically said, I haven't done it. And we basically found out that the first rule break was Louis and Marisha. Marisha basically said, what? Like, what? In her really strong American accent, and they were both obviously talking about him being nominated. And then the second rule break was also from Louis with Nikita and Coulson this time, again speaking about nominations, basically saying that he doesn't really want to be nominated again, take note, as if like that, you know, don't nominate me again. So again, he wasn't really speaking about the nominations, it was more of just a general vague thing, but I guess that does come under the form of speaking about them. And Big Brother asked Louis if he wanted to apologise or if he had anything to say, and he said no, they were just flippant remarks, and his punishment was to do the washing up and set the table with Marisha as his helper. And she basically said that she does it anyway, so she's not going to end up doing anything any different, she's just going to continue doing her normal duty of what she always does. And David basically said that's the funniest thing that he's heard so far, the fact that Louis has to do the washing up. And they kind of, you know, Nikita even joked saying, you can go and wear my gloves if you want, and Louis was like, yeah, I am. So yeah, he did a little bit of washing up, but don't know how long that's going to last. And then the next part of the show, the 10 housemates remaining in the show went to Big Brother's Fun Fair. So it was all fun and games. They were able to play all the different little games, the machine where you can win prizes and things like that. They even had some sort of drink or sweets or whatever. And David asked if anyone wanted an ice cream, with Ekin saying that today is a good day. Coulson had a little panda, but I think he saw Louis win and he kind of had it in his jacket. And he said, are you going to call Panda Jed with the panda? And he said, no, absolutely not. Marisha had her go at the fortune teller machine, and she basically read the note out to everyone else saying exciting things are ahead. On the 14th of April, she'll be nominated for Best Actress in the Guys and Girls musical, and the first thing she said was, "Oh my god." So that was really, really nice. And then after 35 minutes at the fun fair, it was Fern's go to spin the tombola, with every spin being a win. And she basically told the other housemates the fun fair is over and it's time to nominate at the kissing booth in front of everyone else. So everyone's face was a bit like, uh-oh, we're nominating and we're actually doing it face to face. So we had all 10 of the housemates voting 2 people each, and because it was the kissing booth, every time they nominated that person, they had to go give them a little kiss. So, up first, Bradley nominated Louis because everyone else has put in effort and he hasn't done as much work as everyone else. So we went up to Louis, gave him a kiss and basically said I'm really sorry. And he also voted for Ekin-Su because he's had a lot of deep chats and conversations with a lot of people. Doesn't seem to have had that with her so far, but he does love her a lot. Colton voted for Louis as well, saying that the more tasks that they do, things will actually get harder, and he needs to think who is and who isn't wanting to get involved with tasks, thinking that Louis obviously isn't. And that for Levi, saying that he was the most boring housemate until the talent show, has made him kind of question both himself and, himself as a person and just himself in general life. David next, so he voted also for Levi and Louis. So he voted for Levi, saying that he's a gem in the house, but there's been a few occasions where he's asked questions to Levi but not had those questions asked back. And with Louis, they're all a team, and he seems to be the only one not stepping up. Ekin-Su voted for Louis, adding that he was a little bit lazy, and she prefers to be around team players. She wants him to be more practical. And also Fern, because she hasn't had a deep conversation with Fern. She hasn't really asked any personal questions to Ekin-Su, and it seems like she's not really interested in her at all. Fern voted for Louis because he even admitted to being the laziest, and it puts a lot of pressure on everyone else, and to be fair for her, it is quite irritating. And she also nominated Ekin-Su because she feels like Ekin-Su is playing the game. She actually has asked her a lot of questions, but the answers were not enlightening, and she thinks that Ekin-Su is wearing a mask. She's good at judging people in situations, and she feels her danger and doesn't know the real her. So a very in-depth comment up there. So, I guess Fern and Ekin had their little quick chat at the beginning where she was kind of asking her about Love Island and dating and things like that, but other than that, there kind of wasn't really anything. And then Louis said to Fern, that was brilliant, or I think he kind of said out loud, that was brilliant. And at this point, I think, she obviously wasn't very happy about that, but she kind of just took it on the chin. Louis had 5 nominations. Ekin and Levi both had 2, and Fern obviously had the 1. Up next was Levi, so he voted for Coulson because he kind of misunderstood the reason he called him boring. He thinks that Coulson took it a little bit too deeply, and the fact that he's now nominated Levi almost seems like he's not accepted the apology. And then for David, he agrees that he's not managed to connect with David as much as the other housemates, and maybe David isn't seeing his effort. Louis voted for Zizi because she's not 100% warm with him, and for her to say that he's lazy, fair enough, but he's not fake or acting like some of the other housemates are. And then for David, he's extremely loud, and I think he said he doesn't want it to be loud all the time. The next vote was from Marisha, so she voted for Louis, saying that he is sometimes very truthful with his words, sometimes he needs to learn when to speak, and also needs to learn when not to speak. And also for Ekin-Su, which I think was a little bit weird, and as soon as she said Ekin-Su, Ekin-Su's face was a bit like, what? Like, I thought we got on really well. And she said that if Marisha was to get to the final, she's not going to be able to beat Ekin-Su because she has a huge following and knows that she's going to win. So she kind of pulled the face as if like, what? And then Louis basically asked Ekin-Su how she felt, and she basically said, that's not a reason. Judging me because I was on a show before, you've been close to me this whole time. Have you basically been fake? And Marisha said, no, I've not been fake. And then, I think Marisha obviously came over to try and attempt to give her a kiss, and she said, look, I don't even want to kiss you at this point. Like, I don't want a kiss from you or a hug or any small consolation. And Louis said to Ekin, yeah, well done. Good on you for, standing up for yourself there. Nikita's vote was very, very simple, quite emotional, because I think at this point he kind of realised how real the votes were obviously going to be. But he voted for Louis because Louis hasn't helped around the house, and he voted for Fern because he wants to see her participate more in activities than she already does, and in activities that actually he kind of organises, or he runs and things like that. And finally, Zazie came to do her vote, and before she even nominated, Louis said, oh, here we go. So her first nomination was for Louis. His mouth was a little bit too free, and she's obviously wary of people gossiping with other people. And she also voted for Ekin-Su because she said that it's a little bit weird that she's calling Louis lazy, yet she's done everything for him since the beginning of the show, like making tea, coffee, things like that. And Ekin-Su basically said, look, I have no problem with you, so don't worry about it, babe, it's absolutely fine. So in the end, it was 5 and 5, so 5 housemates were saved from the nomination and 5 housemates were up for nomination. So up facing the public vote were David, Ekin-Su, Louis, Levi and Fern. So that was quite interesting that literally half the house were safe and half the house were in trouble. So again, Louis and Fern are up for nomination, but David, Levi and Ekin-Su, none of them have been nominated before. So again, are the public going to save them? Do they have a big enough following? I think Ekin-Su does. Levi, I think maybe he'll have enough to stay, and then David, I guess he's got a lot of people as well from being on a reality show. So Louis, I don't think people like him. Fern, I think people like her, but I'm trying to work out, do more people like Fern or Levi? Because I think Louis would go if it's a single eviction, and yeah, you never know what will happen. Potentially there could be a double, but I think Louis is probably going to go in the Friday episode, so let's see what happens then. Louis basically then said to Fern, oh look, we're up again, and Ekin said that there was basically a lot of two-faced people in there, kind of saying one thing to her and then obviously one thing to themselves. Ekin and Zazie had a little quick chat in the corridor, and she basically said to Zazie, look, I like you, you at least had a reason for nominating me, I'm just upset with somebody else in here. And Marisha went up to Ekin-Su and said, look, why are you mad at me? I know you're gonna win. And Ekin said, look, that's not really fair. I kind of just need a little bit of space. And Marisha said, look, I've not been fake. I couldn't really have voted for Fern. That's just not really possible. And then again, Levi and Colson had a quick chat. So I guess here you kind of got the conversation between Marisha and Ekin-Su is kind of rising a little bit in terms of anger, and the chat between Levi and Colson's kind of coming down. So yeah, Levi said to Colson he knew he made a mistake, he had no idea it was going to affect him that much, and Colson said he took it as a backhanded compliment rather than something offensive. And then Levi also quickly had a chat with David saying that we both said the same thing about each other, and David said, I've asked you a lot of questions, you've not really asked me anything back, it kind of seems like you're not interested, there's no malice here. Adding that he's seen Levi in conversations with everyone else, just not with him, so neither of them took it too badly, and I guess maybe they will be able to chat with each other a little bit more, let's see. And then Louis came to the diary room and said he was shocked that Ekin-Su nominated him, and she definitely turned up tonight and definitely changed her attire, so yeah, he was a little bit shocked that she voted for him. And in the bedroom, Ekin-Su was kind of just sitting there on the bed a little bit upset. Marisha came in and she basically explained, look, I'm really, really sorry for what I said, it was wrong. They both kind of got a little bit emotional. They're kind of having a nice hug, but Ekin wasn't able to look into her face. And Ekin basically said, look, I'm so used to it. Like, it's so hard for me to trust people because they either judge me on my looks, where I come from, the show, or obviously my life or whatever. And it kind of reminds her of other people in her life from the past who have obviously come and gone. And Marisha said, look, she couldn't really have voted for Fern because she's quite close with her and she also sleeps next to her, with Ekin saying that she's just hurt and for her it's just normal. And then she kind of just said to Marisha, look, just take the crown, I don't even want to win. With Marisha telling Bradley that Ekin-Su told her to take the crown, and actually she's now said, well, actually I don't even want to win now. So yeah, kind of a little bit dramatic, but I guess at the same time, yeah, you're going to be a little bit upset if you're Ekin-Su. If you've got on really, really well with someone and they kind of turn against you just because you have a bit of a following. But then I guess I feel sorry for Marisha as well, because I guess she's kind of picked on someone who knows how TV works, knows how to, get emotional, but also might have a bit more of a sensitive side, with a different crowd of people. So yeah, I guess I kind of feel for both of them there. Ekin-Su is upset because she's kind of felt like she's been betrayed, but then also for Marisha it's kind of like she just had to vote for whoever she had to vote for. It just happened to be someone she was friendly with, but she doesn't genuinely want Ekin-Su out, it's just the first name that she thought of there. And then Marisha had a quick chat with Nikita in the bathroom, saying that she feels horrible. She didn't realise that Ekin-Su was going to take it like that. And then I think Ekin-Su could hear them in the bathroom, so she kind of walked back and kind of looked over and said, look, I'm not accepting any sort of apology or forgiveness from you this quickly. Obviously, I've been through so much stuff with all the different shows I've been on whatever. I'm now standing up for myself, and I've been through a lot. And Marisha said, look, I don't even want to win. And then, yeah, Ekin basically said, look, just take the crown and win and whatever. She walked back into the bedroom, kind of slammed a few doors, and then just said, look, I'm not going to be a pathetic crying baby anymore. So I think as of now, we're going to see the real Ekin-Su come out. Like, we know she's fiery, we know she's strong, we know she's smart, but let's see how she fares in the last week of Big Brother, because she could actually go on and win it. So let's see what happens. Marisha and Nikita had another quick chat again, and she kind of said, I don't really know what I said to her that kind of, you know, made her feel this way. And she basically said to Zizi that she said that she'd potentially never forgive Marisha, with Zizi saying that that's intense, and that what she said wasn't coming from a malicious place. Louis asked Ekin if she was okay, and she said, yeah, she's fine. And then he kind of also went on to ask why she nominated him, and that he was glad that she spoke up for herself. And she said, look, I don't want to talk about it anymore. And Louis basically said to her, you're tough, you've seen it all before, with Ekin saying, I hate people that judge me. Marisha came to the diary room, and she obviously, again, was a little bit emotional. She said she got an Olivier nomination, which is great, but she feels horrible, and it's supposed to be the best day of her life, and it feels like the worst day of her life, and she kind of feels like she just wants to go home. Fern, Marisha and Zizi were all having a chat, and Marisha again brought up the Ekin situation, saying that she didn't realise that Ekin was going to take it like that. And I think Zizi said, you know, I guess it will wear off tomorrow. And Fern said, look, let's get some sleep. She'll forget about it. It almost seems like someone wants to rain on your parade. Just ignore it. You are an Olivier winner. And she actually got Marisha to say it again, to be like, oh my God, look, we've got a friend who's got an Olivier nomination award. So yeah, they kind of tried to, I guess, bring her up a little bit by reminding her of the good news that she was just told, and kind of forget about the little bit of drama. But I guess, yeah, at the back of her mind, she's still thinking, gosh, I don't want to upset this person. I have just won a nomination. How can I kind of resolve and be happy in both situations? And then Levi was chatting to Ekin-Su and Louis. And I guess here, Levi was trying to be like really, really deep and serious and whatever with Ekin-Su, and I guess Louis just kept jumping in and Levi kind of came to the conclusion that people are jealous of Ekin-Su because she's a star, with Louis saying that she's tough. Levi said that she seems to have a lot of arrows pointed at her because she has become this strong person, with Louis saying that it seems to be the girls. I think Ekin jumped in and said, look, stop trying to cause drama. And she basically said that she's never used to standing up for herself before, with Levi saying, don't bring yourself down. So I guess here she's kind of getting two bits of feedback. She's kind of getting feedback from Louis, don't hang around the girls, they're drama. And obviously from Levi, don't change yourself, people are jealous of you. So continue being you, because at the end of the day, that's just going to make people that don't like you more angry. But it means they can't do anything, because you get even further in your career and more successful than if they weren't there, or if you didn't have any haters. So that's what I always say as well. If you've got people that don't like you and you've got people that don't want you to succeed, get where you want to even quicker, even better, even more, because then when you do get into a better place, they'll either come and try and support you, or they will be very jealous, and you know, they'll try and plus one up on you, but they might not, because they might, you know, fall. And then finally, Fern came to the diary room and said that she kind of knew Ekin-Su was going to vote for her. She's not really surprised, and she doesn't want to be rude, but she kind of said that she felt like Ekin was kind of turning into like a little girl with her hand on her hip, kind of wearing a mask, as if 100% not being genuine. She also reflected on the situation previously where everyone was saying bye to Sharon, kind of giving their analysis of the show, and then she was just kind of sitting at the table crying, which almost felt like a bit of a performance, like a little bit dramatic, like you've only been in the house with this lady for 1 week, and you're now already kind of crying your eyes out that she's leaving when she wasn't even going to be on the show the whole time anyway. And then she also said that Ekin-Su basically said to her, look, she'll try and be nice tomorrow, with Fern basically saying, look, there's no need to try and be nice, you just be yourself. So yeah, that's kind of where the 10th episode ended. So yeah, as of now, we've got 5 people up for nomination: Louis, Ekin-Su, David, Fern and Levi. I think Levi was a little bit of a shock to be nominated, but I guess Colton voted for him purely because of the fact that, you know, he called him boring. David voted for him because he doesn't really have much chat with him. And then, yeah, I can't remember who else voted for Levi. But again, David, not really surprised. I think people are kind of a bit annoyed that he's quite loud. With Ekin-Su, I guess people don't think she's being 100% genuine. With Vern, I guess some people think she's not really getting involved much. And then obviously for Louis, they also think that he's quite lazy as well, not doing the dishes, not doing tasks and things like that. So all 5 of them have their reasons for being nominated. But yeah, like I said, hopefully the 3 young ones stay. I think I'd like to see Ekin, David, and Levi stay. I mean, Levi's not young, but I guess he's one of the nice ones. But yeah, I think Louis or Fern will probably be the next housemate to go. But like I said, I don't know, I haven't seen it. I don't even know, you know, what anyone's wearing in the show. But I think as of the 5 of them, personally the weakest is probably Louis or Fern. Or if one of them goes, the other one will go the following week or next day or whatever. So yeah, if you did enjoy my review, don't forget to like, comment, chat and subscribe. Let me know down below who you think or thought would have gone in the eviction. David, Ekin-Su, Levi, Louis and Fern. Hopefully you're right, and you know, this time next week the show will actually be finished, my reviews will be over, and I will be getting back to some other reviews and videos. So yeah, if you did enjoy, don't forget to like, comment, chat and subscribe, and until my next review, thank you for watching and goodbye.